with Pandorum, where did that come from in your mind creatively? Because I think it's a really cool take on the sci-fi horror.
Thank you. Actually, it's an interesting story. Along with that, that notion of writing my own thing, that nobody, no agents or executives were going to read this script. So I was a little more fearless in my decisions. I wasn't worried about how someone would accept the story or not. So I literally just wrote my own story, and I was planning on doing it independently. I was going to shoot it as a low budget, $200,000. We were going to shoot it in an abandoned paper mill. We actually started pre-production. So I was going to do this very small film with my roommates and all that kind of stuff. And then my agent, he asked what I was working on. I said, well, I did this thing. I'm going to go do this little movie on the side. And then he read it and he goes, whoa, wait a minute. This is actually really good, like, compared to all your other stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, well, yeah, I appreciate it. And then he started sending it out and he said, listen, I've got some bigger players interested, so stop doing what you're doing. And at that time, I was a little bit jaded, and I was like, yeah, well, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to go make my little movie. And then, so I just kept going. He was like, all right, stop. You have to stop what you're doing because the Impact and Constantine are interested, and et cetera.
Wow.
So anyway, but the story itself, it was interesting. I was working as a ground marshal at an airport when I was in college. And the Con Air plane came in, the plane that delivers convicts.
Right.
I started writing a script about that plane being hijacked. And then Con Air came out. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, someone beat me to
scratch that.
So that sat on the shelf for years and years and years. And then I revisited it. And I thought, well, maybe I could switch it. Maybe I could go sci-fi with it. Yeah. So that's where it started. And the original script, it was a prisoner ship, bringing 50,000 of the world's worst people to a prison on the planet. So that's kind of how it evolved. But the one thing that I think what was interesting about that process was I decided to do something I didn't normally do before, is that I wrote without a structure. Okay. I wrote without an outline.
Yeah.
I just did the page one, have no idea where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to give it that spontaneous, organic vibe. So that's why I gave the lead character no memory, so that I was on the same page as he was going down those corridors, and I didn't know what was around each corner. So it was cool. And as you know, it's kind of a dangerous way to write, because you can always paint yourself into a corner. But this one just seemed to work, and I literally didn't know what was gonna happen at the end. I was literally like, there's the scene where they get to the cockpit and they finally look out the windows. We don't know where the ship is. I didn't know what to do. And I stopped and I took the dog for a walk, and I was thinking about outer space and where could they be and all this stuff. And my dog was drinking from a puddle in the street. And I thought, oh, okay, so that's about as opposite as that.
Yeah.
So I put the ship underwater, and it all worked.
It's a great twist. It's a great twist. Actually,
thanks.
Yeah, well, the thing about that twist made me want to see more. I was like, okay, now what happens to them on the planet? Like, I'm ready for the sequel. You know what I mean?
Oh, right on.
I was like, yeah, that was really cool, because you have these monsters and then the evolutionary gene, and maybe people are still corrupted. So I thought it was really cool that you had created it that way, where I was like, oh, I wonder what happens next. And so I really did. I really did like that. And you're right, it could totally be dangerous to write that way. But obviously you had the story burning in you. It needed to come out. It came out the right way, which is great.